character design.
Okay.
But like later Hanna-Barbera.
Okay.
Which also the Two Stupid Dogs was Hanna-Barbera too. But
So then there was Dumb and Dumber, which when I first heard the title, I thought that was brilliant. Like that's a great title. Although they had to ruin it with, they also call it, they give it a subtitle, When Harry Met Lloyd. It's like, you didn't need that.
Yeah.
But anyway, the movie itself,
sucks.
It does. But
It really sucks.
there is
Sherry O'Terry, isn't it?
Yeah.
well, because first of all, it's a prequel, and it does not have Jim Carrey or Jeff Daniels, so that was already a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Of course, it's a prequel when they're younger, but why did it have to be a prequel?
They look pretty close, those
they
guys,
do.
you know? Like they
Well, the
look
one guy
like-
went on to do a lot. The guy who plays the younger Jim Carrey, he's been in a lot of shit. So, like, that didn't hurt him at all.
Uh-huh.
It didn't help.
Yeah, so I had not seen it since it came out, but it's one of those movies you just forget, except for one scene.
One scene.
And I think everybody agrees.
Yes.
The Bob Saget scene. So they have a chocolate bar, and they end up smearing it all over a room, and Bob Saget comes in, and it's his house, and he thinks it's like they shit all over the place or something. And Bob Saget just flips the fuck out. He's like, there is fucking shit! There is shit everywhere!
Mission 2.
Yeah, other than that, there's really nothing notable. I think Shia LaBeouf is in Dumb and Dumber.
Really?
If I'm remembering right.
yeah.
I remember I got it on, it's one of the last VHS tapes I bought, like, new. Because I didn't see it in theaters. I'm like, let me check this out. I'm like, well, this is the worst purchase I've ever made. This is terrible.
Yeah. But then they totally redeemed themselves, almost, with Dumb and Dumber 2. So 20 years later, they made a sequel. I think they only did it because they got so much fan praise for the original, and they just knew that there was a lot of fans out there. Because up until this point, Jim Carrey, he didn't usually do sequels. You know, the sequel to Mask didn't have Jim Carrey.
He did
The
Ace
sequel
Ventura 2.
he did that. The sequel to Bruce Almighty, Evan Almighty.
He's not in that, right?
The Mask 2.
Son of the Mask.
Yeah, no, I mean like the one.
Nintendo Power.
Yeah, the Nintendo Power
yeah,
episode.
never happened.
It's like,
Yeah, I know.
you can win a role in the Mask 2.
If we ever do
Well, that
Son
was
of...
yeah.
Real quick. If we ever do Son of the Mask, can we hunt down that Nintendo Power winner and have him on the show?
Oh my god, yeah, that would be pretty
Look, we knew we needed to make it in Mask too. But he can be in the review for Mask.
Yeah, Mask
That's
2.
great. That's a great answer. Boy, that'd be funny. So the sequel, to sum it up, it's okay. Like it's not bad. I think what one of you guys saw? Which one?
I have not seen it.
neither
No,
of us.
I haven't.
I saw the
Okay.
prequel, not the sequel.
Okay, so my advice is, if you want to see more of those characters, there's no reason not to watch it, because 20 years have passed, but they're still the same characters, and they didn't change anything about the personalities. It's still Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels doing what they do. So that part's good. They got the characters right. Nothing wrong there. The only problem I have with it is the plot is a little bit overcomplicated. Where they kind of have, there's criminals in that one as well. Basically, Harry needs a liver transplant. Not a liver, a kidney transplant.
Okay.
And he can only get it from a family member. Then he finds out he has a long-lost daughter, so they go on this road trip to find the daughter. Now, don't you think finding a long-lost daughter would have been enough of a plot? Like, without the kidney, yeah, without the kidney thing. And spoiler alert, I don't think anybody cares.
Yeah.
But then it turns out the daughter is really Lloyd's instead. And then, wait a minute, the daughter is nobody's. It's neither of theirs.
Okay.
And then Harry doesn't really need the kidney transplant at all. It's a total cop-out. Oh, also, there's this box that they're carrying on the trip, which is supposed to have some invention in it that's going to, save mankind. Or some really important thing is in this box, and that's what the criminals are going after. And all this crazy shit's going on. Well, at the end, there's nothing in the box either. It's just cupcakes. So every single plot thread is just a cop-out in the end.
Okay.
And so I thought they just put a little bit too much thought into that part. Otherwise, the situations are there. There's a part where they're trying to steal hearing aids from an old lady in a retirement home or something. And wow, boy, is it an awkward scene. It's hilariously awkward, but she tricks them into reaching into a certain place to get them, and afterwards she has this creepiest grin where she's like, "You boys deserved it," and it's so awkward, but
Wow.
so funny.
What you got?
And
Doesn't the little boy come back? The one with the
the boy with the
parrot?
parakeet comes
Yeah.
back.
I hear
and-
he has like a bunch of like parrots.
Yeah,
and
now they
exotic
have a bunch
birds.
of parakeets, and they trick him into taking their cat in.
Yeah.
And slaughters all the birds. But this cat also, just to back up, Lloyd is absent for a long time because he's pretending to be in this retirement home for 20 years.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Harry needs to get a new roommate. And by the way, all the same sets are used, like it's the same apartment.
Oh, really?
Everything's
Wow.
exactly the same.
Oh, wow.
But he needed to get a new roommate to replace Lloyd, so they turn the other room, and it's this guy with like a mask, like chopping up all this glass. So he's doing all this, like he's making meth in the other room.
Oh,
And then
no.
while they're talking, there's like this background joke where the cat sniffs the meth, and then next thing, they're talking about something else, but in the background you see the cat hanging on the chandelier. Oh man! So there's funny stuff in it. There's a part where they take an envelope that they're supposed to deliver. It's like an unsent envelope, and instead they go to the return address, so they come back to the exact same house, something like that. So there's good stuff in it, but it's nowhere near as good as the original.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's still worth seeing, but not as good.
Greetings, my friend. We are all interested in YouTube, for that is where you and I are going to spend the rest of our lives. And remember, my friend, YouTube videos such as these will affect you in the future. You are interested in comedy, drama, action, horror, movies for kids, movies for mom and dad. That is why you are here, and now, for the 60th anniversary of the best worst film ever made, a review by 4 miserable souls. In this terrifying review, my friend, can your heart stand the shocking facts about Plan 9 from outer space?
Okay, so this Monday is the 60th anniversary of Plan 9 from Outer Space. One of my favorite films. It's in my top 50 favorites because I found this very inspiring in a very strange sort of way. This was the original worst film of all time because it was in a book called the Golden Turkey Awards.
And speaking of the worst movie of all time, it's also the 1-year anniversary of Rental Reviews, so stay tuned to the end of the episode for a little celebratory.
One year of the worst movie reviews.
I mean, it was weird. We were just people who wanted to rent VHSs, and somehow we started a show. I don't know how that happened. Is that doing good for your business?
The thing about Plan 9 is that it was the original worst movie. Now, for real, the worst movie would have to be something that is not entertaining, because as long as it's entertaining, it can't be the worst film.
Right.
So it wasn't even the worst film back then. It's not even Ed Wood's worst movie.
Oh yeah, Night of the Ghouls is pretty terrible compared to this one.
Night of the Ghouls is far worse than Plan 9.
Oh, it's barely a movie.
Yeah. Nevertheless, Plan 9 was the first movie to open up the idea of there even being a worst movie. Because before that, Citizen Kane, that was the best film of all time, right? And actually, Ed Wood wanted to be like Orson Welles, to write, shoot, and direct, and act.
Ah, the French champagne.
He found fame in his own way of getting this worst movie. And the thing is, I'm going to compare it to somebody we know, Nathan Barnett. He has the lowest score recorded for some video game where he has like a negative score.
And then Jr.
Is that what it was?
At Fun Spot, actually.
Yeah. And he said something to us. He said, who decided that up is always the way to go? Why not go down? Why not strive for the worst? And
Wow.
Plan 9 is something that it changed it. It opened up a fork in the road. You can make the best movie or the worst movie.
That's the mantra I live by every day of my life.
And isn't that all we talk about now? Like on YouTube, it's always the best this or the worst that. It's always the
Yeah.
best and the worst.
It's never in the middle. This is the middle movie right here. And
Somebody's got to strive for the middle movie.
Someone, that's the new.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
one has gone it. That's the new frontier. The middle movie.
Nobody's
is the
gone
best,
middle.
worst,
Yeah.
middle.
Yeah.
It's not that good. It's not that
It
bad.
has to be as mediocre as
Yeah, as
possible.
the
It has to be as mediocre as possible. Just flatline, middle, plateau ass movie.
yeah.
So I want to talk about all the reasons why Plan 9 should have been a classic, or why it is a classic.
Right.
Okay.
First of all, it combines gothic horror.
Well, did it again. New world record. Still made mistakes. Still could be improved. Good stuff, though.